Welcome back to Star Wars Nerds Unite, the Star Wars podcast focused on the new Star Wars canon. Joining me, as always, are Joshua McCullough Mason.
Hi.
Hi, Josh. And Jennifer Stitch Fix VanAutreve. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello. We should insert an advertisement for Stitch Fix. You could send your link. People could subscribe to Stitch Fix through your link.
That's okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a bad idea.
Today, we're going to be discussing Star Wars number 16 by Jason Aaron and Lionel Francis Yu. How stoked are you guys?
Pretty stoked.
The stokiest.
I'm super stoked. I like Lionel Francis Yu.
Is he the artist?
He is. He's done a whole bunch of various Marvel work, other work too, but he's famous for... he did some covers on Civil War. He did Secret Invasion over on Marvel, where all of the Skrulls took over. He did... trying to think of other stuff he's super famous for. Infinity.
So what you're saying is he's not super famous.
Well, he is in the comic book world. He did the Avengers book for a long time. Anyway, he's super cool. And Jason Aaron, as we all know, is the greatest writer in comic books. And
According to whom?
according to me.
Oh, okay.
So in this issue, we find Leia and what's the wife's name?
Santa Soros.
Santa Soros, the previously dubbed Santa Solo, who have captured Dr. Aphra after their experiences in Vader Down. And they are taking her to a rebel prison, and she's being very elusive inside of the ship. And they take him to this really cool prison that's right next to a sun. And the idea of the prison is one of the things that's making it awful for the Imperial prisoners is the fact that it's never dark.
It's called Sunspot Prison.
Sunspot Prison. And it's supposed to be this mega secure facility. No one knows it exists. And Leia and Santa are about to leave after dropping Dr. Aphra off, who will not divulge any information about her time with Vader. She basically will not reveal anything. Any, secret information.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find this, it looks like a bounty hunter.
It's the bounty hunters we saw in the last comic.
One of them has a bunch of droids.
It's those droids that were in her group that Vader sent to get her.
And then they go and they are attacking this prison, and they're cutting their way in, and the last panel is them busting through and shooting some of the rebel prison guards. Intense. How did they find it? I don't even know.
Don't know. I'm sure we'll find out.
Yes, I'm sure we will.
You missed probably the only interesting part of the entire comic.
Oh, yeah, the Luke and Han part?
No.
Oh, well, there's an aside where Han and Luke are on this planet, and Han is gambling. He's playing Sabacc, and he's been sent on a mission to go and purchase supplies.
Right.
They both have. Something very simple. Han decides he's going to take the money, cheat at Sabacc, double the money, take a small finder's fee to help pay his bounty to Jabba, and then go buy even more supplies. And Luke is like, this is a bad idea. We need to go. And then he's caught cheating, and there's a really cool scene where they're hightailing it out to get to their ship so they're not killed. And Han's like, don't worry about it. We're going to figure it out. And Luke's like, you're going to get us kicked out of the rebellion. That's pretty funny. That's not the part.
No. You're talking about how those two knew each other. That was pretty cool. So Leia was talking to, how do you say it, Sana?
Sure. Like the Finnish recreational room.
About Dr. Aphra and...
What?
It's not spelled that way.
It's not, but it
struck me as funny.
Way.
Anyway, they're talking about Dr. Aphra and what they should do with her and the fact that she hasn't given up any information yet. And Sana tells her she would throw her into the sun, either make her talk or throw her into the sun.
Or throw her into the sun.
Because she said she's going to come back and kill you, basically. And they go to the cell where they have Aphra and kind of give her like one last chance to give them information.
She's got a sweet Moonraker space outfit, if you remember the movie Moonraker.
Nope.
You don't remember Moonraker? It's a James Bond movie with Roger Moore. I am certain you have seen it before in your life. Your father strikes me as a person
James
who
Bond
loves
person.
James Bond and especially loves Roger Moore James Bond.
He's not huge into James Bond. He's more of a Western
Really?
guy. Yeah, so
You think he would pick Roger Moore over Sean Connery?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he's goofy.
I'm going to text him.
So, anyways, they go and try to get some information out of Aphra. And this whole time, Aphra's been, she's been kind of overly confident about being captured. She keeps threatening them, telling them Vader's going to come after them. And she's actually gotten out of her restraints more than once.
See? I showed her a picture of Moonraker.
Yeah, I've
Space
never
outfit.
seen it. While they were in the ship before they got to the prison, she got out of her restraints and got a hold of a blaster and almost shot them. And she's gotten loose more than once. And so she still isn't acting worried at this point, even though she's in this prison cell. And she still won't tell them anything. And so Leia's like, well, enjoy the sunshine. See ya. And then Sana stays and kind of talks to her one-on-one a little bit more, and you realize that those two have some kind of past, and it seems like they were close in some way. It's kind of weird. And then
Maybe they were married.
I got the impression that they were something. They were very close, and Aphra got really mad. This is like the first time that she's shown any kind of negative feelings. This whole time she's been like overconfident and kind of just smirking at them, and then she gets really mad that Sana is, she thinks Sana's a rebel sympathizer.
Well, more that her whole escape plan was...
She thought Sana was going to help her. So Sana then just leaves her there.
So what was your redeeming part, Josh?
that was the only interesting
redeeming?
part of the comic book.
Was the Moonraker costume?
No, was that conversation.
Oh.
And it wasn't even that interesting. I should tell you a lot.
Man, I think the listeners all heard the audible eye roll that my wife just gave me for my absolutely stupid comment. Oh, boy. So I liked that scene with Han and Luke. Han does some stupid stuff sometimes.
So one of the things that frustrates me to no end is when storytellers use the story element of let's make everyone act as stupid as possible to create conflict.
Yeah, but Han puts himself in situations like that all the time. He thinks he's better than he is.
He doesn't put himself in that situation all the time.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. There are legitimate things that get him into bad situations. A simple task of go buy some... First off, why is Han Solo and Luke Skywalker buying supplies? They couldn't get the Bond company stooge to go hire a droid to go get the supplies? The whole premise is stupid. And again, it's the storytelling device of let's make our main characters act as dumb as possible to get them in a situation so that I can get them out of it.
I was confused because on the opening page when it gives the synopsis, it says Luke and Han paired together on a secret mission. Yeah. And I read about them and I was like, wait a minute, what's this secret mission?
We need apples and some toilet
flour, deodorant.
Super secret though. Don't tell anybody.
So I was like, wait, did I miss what the mission was really supposed to be? And then I had to reread it because I was like, it just says they're going to get supplies. What's going on? I thought I missed it. And
you didn't.
Then I was like, oh.
But don't worry. Jason Aaron's track record on this book tells me that it won't get any better.
It does. It's so good. It is good. Don't listen to Josh.
Then they kind of talk about like who has the higher bounty on their head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Han. Yeah, it is revealed that Luke has a 60,000 credit bounty, and Han's like, but That's more than my bounty. And you can see his fragile ego is wounded.
Yeah.
I love the prison. The prison is so cool.
I was kind of disappointed that she has these bounty hunters and the droids breaking her out literally 5 minutes after she got in there. If it's supposed to be completely unknown, I thought they should have ended it with her there, at least for one more issue. I thought it was a little quick.
I think the reason they're doing that is because the interesting part isn't a bunch of nobodies breaking her out of prison. The interesting part will be whatever comes next in her adventure. I honestly don't like the prison. I like the idea, like the design.
But they made it so like it's supposed to be so elusive, and then she's there for 5 minutes, and now she's out. I just thought, like, why not have them capture her while she's still in the ship or something? Why even put this in here? It's a
huge space station, and I feel like the Rebel Alliance could probably better use those monies to buy, like, starfighters. Like,
it does surprise me that they have a prison at all.
Yeah. Much less one that no one knows about.
Yeah, that's so secret that they can pay the guards enough that they...
Yeah.
They keep it all secret.
The whole premise...
They need a lot of sunscreen.
This comic should just
Maybe that's what Luke and Han went to go buy.
What?
Just vats of sunscreen.
What ridiculous tropes can I get my characters into so that I can spend 5 more comics getting them out of those situations? It feels like a treading water segment of comic book. Like there's no point.
It feels like a bridge arc.
Oh my God.
Probably.
So
just based on the first one.
So, okay. Have you read further?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I'm attempting to keep
with the podcast
with the listener,
who is like a year behind.
Yeah,
we're catching up fast if we keep doing 2 at a time. We'll be caught up in no time.
So I don't like it. It irks me to no end when people make characters act stupid for the sake of creating plot.
But I don't think he's acting that stupid.
He is.
Yeah. All right. Here's I think where that separation is. I think that you have a hard time understanding why other people act a certain way. You have this preconceived notion of how people should be, and when people deviate from that, you think it's stupid. And so it's harder for you in fiction to understand that sometimes characters think a different way from you, and that's why they take the actions that they take. It may be stupid.
He's like,
but it's not like the character is going out of their way to be stupid.
I don't think
the thing they're doing is in character.
Any human being in the history of time would think it's a good idea to send the 2 most wanted people in the galaxy on a milk run.
That
makes no sense.
It's a secret milk run, though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea, but that wasn't really the point you were making.
It's all part of the point. The entire premise is let's make everyone be an idiot for a day, so that way we get into horrible situations that we now have to write ourselves out of.
But just because you think it's stupid that they sent them,
it is. It
doesn't
empirically stupid.
Right.
No one would think that's a good idea. That's not interesting to me.
Apparently, the rebel military does. They thought it was a great idea because the Falcon had enough storage space for whatever supply, all the suntan lotion that they needed for the sunspot station.
Yep.
I just think it was poor writing. I think that they wanted them to go on a secret mission and they didn't develop a good enough
there is no mission
for them to go on. And so then they just were like, well, let's just say they're getting supplies or something.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they just wanted an excuse for them to be together alone because they can't all be together all the time, and then they didn't like write it through. Like
probably in 4 and 5 something's going to happen, and he's like he had this idea in his head. How cool would it be if we did this with Han and Luke? But then he's like, oh crap, I have to fill 3 comics worth of story to get to that point. Let's just make him go on a milk run and lose all the money.
I think it's funny.
I think it's stupid.
I don't care that much. I just thought it didn't make that much sense. I was more bothered about the prison being found so easily.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I do agree with the prison being found so quickly. I mean, I'm sure there's some tracker, yada yada yada, but I would have rather that
they just kept building up how it's never been penetrated and
which is
blah,
again,
blah, blah.
I mean, he's just introduced it, so he's trying really hard to make sure you know how impossible it is. But then
but that's why I think you shouldn't have.
It's the biggest, baddest penitentiary the Alliance has to offer. Make your stay here short, or it'll be for all but one of us. I don't know. It's just so dumb.
Okay. Well, I think you guys have made it well known what you thought of this issue. What do you think of the art?
And I also don't know why is she working with Sana?
Who?
Leia.
At the end of Vader Down, I mean, they kind of buddy up, and then they say
how
in
did
this
they
issue,
buddy up? I don't remember.
Because Leia saved her life.
It doesn't really make them buddies, just makes Leia.
Yeah, and Leia is paying her.
So Leia saved her life and then felt like she should give her some money.
Yeah. Because she had the ship.
They couldn't use the Falcon because it's on the milk run.
Right.
So they just needed a ship. And Sana has a ship, and that's...
And a reason to get Sana and Afra in the same spot. Again,
it just seemed forced that they were together.
Right. They've also establishing this character.
There's some payoff coming that they didn't know how to get to, and this is what they came up with.
Okay.
What if Luke and Sana get a thing going?
They won't.
That's weird.
They won't.
Maybe Sana is Rey's mom.
I hope so.
I have a confession.
Uh-oh.
You didn't read this?
Oh, no. I did read it. More like a retraction of something I said.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh, an official retraction.
It's not like a Josh Mason retraction, but it holds some weight here.
I kept going on and on about those stupid Jawas and the toy.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the next day, I saw this He-Man commercial. And I realized it was the thing from He-Man. It wasn't a Jawa toy.
I had a suspicion. It was
that little thingy guy. What is his name?
I don't like to question you. I don't remember.
But he looks exactly like a Jawa.
He has a hood.
He has a red hood.
Jawa-looking guy from He-Man. Let's see what Google says.
Can we talk about the art on this issue? I really enjoyed it.
That guy?
No.
I like the way the characters are drawn. I like the way
that guy.
The panels are built. Some of the scenes are really cool with the depth.
Orko.
Yes.
Yeah, Orko.
Doesn't he look like a Jawa?
Yeah.
I like the design of the prison. The inside looks really cool.
There's lots of cool elements. Like the prison jumpsuit.
I'm speaking specifically about the art.
Well, that's part of the art.
Yeah. I like the art a lot. I would be okay with this artist being on Star Wars.
The whole Sabak scene was well done.
This is the exact toy with the little thingy that I was talking about.
Oh my gosh. Thank God I used Levelator.
Look.
Yeah, there it is.
And he's got little wheels.
How much is it?
$20.
$20.
Can I see it? Oh my gosh. That looks really fun.
Doesn't it look like a Jawa kind of?
You could get one for $0 if you climb through the
if I went through my parents' attic.
Fight the squirrels to get to it.
I don't know.
The squirrels that are eating the wood off the
it.
porch.
They might have eaten this Orca guy. Orko.
He's got a big O on his chest.
Isn't that such a weird coincidence that I made this big story about this stupid Jawa toy that I thought I had, and then the next day I see a He-Man commercial?
It's fate. Fate stepping in and correcting you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know you're wrong, when fate does it for you.
I like the colors. There's a lot about this issue that I like a lot. Some of the bigger...
the art was definitely very different.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I didn't dislike it. It wasn't as... the characters didn't...
The cover is not very good.
She looks like she did in the Leia comic, except her face. Her face doesn't look like Leia at all.
It's the same artist that did the inside of the Leia comic.
Well, I'm just saying, like, she never had a bunch of stormtroopers in.
Oh, there were no stormtroopers at all.
That is true.
And she has a huge gun.
does. It's a D11, isn't it? Or an E11, sorry.
So I thought the art was good. The only thing, I don't know, they just didn't look like themselves in the face, but you knew who they were.
The faces have a lot less detail.
Yeah, they just didn't really look like.
Oh yeah, on that first panel, there's no detail on that face.
Although the guy getting punched has tons of detail, but then go look at this one.
I thought that was Dengar.
Yeah, just draw an eyebrow on her. That's all you need.
It looks good. I think it's a well-drawn face. I don't think you
look
need
at all that detail. And she's got lots of furrowing by her.
This one doesn't have
cheeks,
any.
but that's it.
He has this very distinct line style, like on all of his art. I've never seen anybody use like hatching and stuff the way he does, ever. And I like it a lot. I've always liked his art.
This picture is really good.
You should, if you look at some of his earlier art, it's actually a lot, I'll call it looser or sloppier. It's sort of a little more, I'm sure he cleaned it up for this and made it a little more realistic. But he can get kind of exaggerated with his art too. But he seems to get better all the time. I like his art a lot.
The other thing that he did well is
the scale.
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say when you're in the prison, he does a really good job of annoying me. I could know in a good way. Because you could tell if you were a prisoner there how much it being bright the entire time would just, like, even just reading it, it's like, I just want to put sunglasses on.
Yeah.
You put a picture of me on Twitter and I wasn't even looking.
Yeah. I thought you looked pretty in your Stitch Fix clothes.
Stop talking about Stitch Fix.
Why? It's cool. I signed up for Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix for dudes.
Is that a website?
Yes.
Yeah.
Stitch Fix for dudes.
Yep.
Because I don't know how to dress myself.
Stitch Fix men.
Anyway, the Dotsons are doing the covers, and Lionel Francis Yu's doing the interiors. So yeah, it is very distinct differences in style too. Dotson has kind of a rounder, more cartoony style, and Yu is a lot rougher. Anyway, I like this comic actually quite a bit. There's a lot going on. There's two main stories. I mean, a lot of the way that they've done this Star Wars book in general. They have two split storylines where they break the characters out, and I'm sure they'll come together at the end.
Who did this? Because that doesn't look anything like Luke.
That's Dotson. That's the same one that did the Leia comic. She's referring to the cover for the next issue of Star Wars. So, do we have other stuff we want to say?
We didn't rate it.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know if we wanted to say anything else before we rate it. I'm going to give this issue an 8. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the art. It didn't blow me away like the Darth Vader comic typically does, but it was really a fun read. Go.
6.
6 is probably good.
Oh, you just can't make your own mind.
I was gonna say 5, but it's probably I probably gave a Leia comic more than a 5, and that shouldn't happen.
You gave a lot of comics more than a 5 that were bad.
All right, moving on. We are ready for letters. I am going to talk about one tweet that we got. We got a tweet from Andrea. I had posted because I had asked what your nickname should be.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what she interpreted it as. She interpreted it as, I said, what should next recording be? I asked her.
That's a horrible question.
She said, loved
Why'd you
cream
say
of the crop. Because I said, Josh, cream of the crop, Mason. And she said she loved it. And I said, what should next recording be? And then she said, Jen episode. Have her watch whatever movie she hasn't watched yet and review it.
A solo Jen episode?
I'm not sure, or if it was an episode where we're focusing on Jen. Basically, the fans are clamoring for more Jen. Everybody wants more Jen.
Because she doesn't talk enough. She's talked a lot so far in this one.
And Andrea gave other suggestions for nicknames, so be prepared for next episode. Okay, moving on to email. All right. Which one did we do last?
I don't
Hello, my friends.
remember.
Poe being force sensitive. We were talking about that. Fuzzy numbers. That was the last one. Here we go. No. That was John Best. And, here we go. Matt, Coxtimus Prime. This was on the Poe Dameron episode. He says, Sup, SWNU family. Great podcast, as usual. I got the variant cover of Poe that looks like an old school Kenner action figure, but I still haven't even read it. Feedback is becoming my fave part of this podcast, so I think you should just cancel this whole Star Wars thing. Just make a write-in feedback podcast.
Hey. Well, I'm down.
Well, our episodes are so short on the content now, we just skip to feedback, so it's basically that anyway.
Well, did anybody say anything about my idea about reading the comic first?
No. I didn't see any comments.
No opinions?
Comments.
Reading the comic.
Live, on air.
We talked about it last time.
Gosh.
I think it would be fantastic.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I do too. 2 against 1.
What would be fantastic about it?
I would be all the male characters. She would be all the female characters. You would be all the square boxes.
Oh my gosh. So I would do nothing.
You'd be the narrator.
Even though I'm the most interesting reader out of all of us.
No, you're not.
Yes, I absolutely
No, you're
am.
not.
Okay, read the rest of this email. And then...
I don't even know where you're at on the email.
Last email, I tagged the hash of the Reese's Freeze because way back yonder, you talked about Dairy Queen being the unofficial sponsor of the show and asked what everyone's fave flavor was. I wrote Reese's, to which Tosh said something along the lines of, yada, yoda, yada, Reese's sucks. Speaking of sucks, I think Tosh's nickname should always be Tosh. Maybe Toshua, the free Mason.
Tasha was not bad.
As always, great show. Can't wait for more. Live long and prosper. What?
Wait for what?
More, but he said it.
An internet
Yeah.
way. Let's see.
I told him that sounded like something I would say because Reese's is not. Peanut butter and chocolate do not go together.
Reese's
butter.
Blizzards.
That's why Reese's is not peanut butter and chocolate.
Reese's Blizzards are not my fave.
They're not good.
They're salty. They got a lot of salt
I
in
like
them.
salty stuff in my ice cream.
Do you like Reese's Blizzards?
I'm not a big Blizzard person in general, but I like Reese's peanut butter cups.
I actually like calling
themselves.
Josh the Tosh better than any other nickname. It makes literally no sense. Like a billion times no sense. There's no reason for it other than that it rhymes and has the same amount of syllables.
That's pretty much every word you make up. You just do it because it rhymes.
Coximus and I are bros. He says things like fave and the hash of the Reese's Freeze. He says some weird stuff. Way back yonder. He talks like me. I like him. All right.
Well, this had nothing to do with him.
It had everything
We
to do
weren't
with him.
talking bad about him.
If you go to the ice cream shack, which I don't know if you get out to beautiful Sunnyland often or not, they have a very deceptive item that they sell.
It's called the Wizard.
Freeze.
Oh, it's called
What
the
would you
Freeze.
anticipate a freeze is?
It's just like shaved ice with
It's a Blizzard, isn't it?
sugar water in it.
So like a slushy.
Yeah.
Tim thinks it's a slushy. What do you think a freeze is?
I know they have something that's just like a Blizzard called something else.
All right, I didn't ask you that. I asked you, what do you think a freeze would be?
If I didn't know, and they said a
You literally
freeze,
don't know. I'm asking you what you think it is right now.
I would think it was shaved ice, probably.
Right, any sane human being would.
Right.
It's half slushy, half ice cream.
Oh, no, that's new since I've been there 10 years ago.
That sounds wrong.
And so I ordered a cherry freeze for Job.
And it has ice cream
And it had
in
ice cream
Did
in
he
it.
eat it?
So I got all the way back home and found out that it had freaking ice cream in it.
Did he get...
He got super upset.
But did he get hives?
No, I didn't let him have it.
Oh, you didn't?
I had to go
thought
back to the ice cream shack and get a stupid slushy. They're called I can't remember what they're called, but they're not freezes. There's no descriptions on their board. It's very frustrating.
That's crazy.
I am.
I would have never guessed that.
I didn't know anybody would ever mix those two things together. That sounds disgusting.
If you've ever been to Dick's Dairy Dream, which used to be down on Bloomington Road.
All the time.
In East Peoria.
Yeah, we used to go
No,
there.
never.
So anyways, he had a thing called an iceberg where it was a cup with blue slushy in it, and then he'd plop in an ice cream, and it looked like an iceberg, right?
Oh,
No one would confuse that with a slushie.
No.
Call it an iceberg. Call it something else. Don't call it a freeze.
Ice cream talk. Star Wars Nerds Unite.
But their blizzard is called a wizard.
Yeah, I thought that it was.
Yeah, that makes more sense. It rhymes with blizzard.
Right.
Concrete mixer. I know what that is.
That's at Culver's.
Yeah. And what's another one?
I don't know. I don't know what Emos calls them.
Guess what? So over on Star Wars or on Comic Nerds Unite, we're great big fans of RC Cola. We talk about it all the time. And we found out because of Michael Kelso, who hosts Two Dudes and a Ness podcast. He listens to that show. He sent an email in. He said there's an RC Cola Moon Pie Festival in Bell Buckle, Tennessee.
Bell Buckle, Tennessee.
Apparently,
That's,
having a moon pie and an RC Cola is a thing in the South.
Thing?
I didn't know that. But there's like a parade. People dress up in RC Cola and moon pie outfits.
That makes sense.
And they walk the town. Look at how many people are there.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
It does.
There's a 10-mile run through the hills, and they have
these people that are eating moon pies and drinking RC Cola are not running 10 miles.
Well, there's
a few of them.
There's 1,000 people that are in it.
I believe
in this race. I can't believe it.
I do.
It's in the middle of nowhere in Tennessee. Well, that's not totally true. It's like 35 minutes from Nashville.
Yeah.
The thing that's most impressive about this is that Tim's already told people that we were going.
Oh, yeah.
And I just found out today
for 2017
that it even exists.
RC
June
he probably already signed up for this race.
It's in June?
Yeah.
That's going to be hot. No thanks.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
I
got to start training.
Not too interested.
Because it's supposed to be pretty hilly.
Yeah.
I start eating moon pies, I guess.
No,
that's a good idea. I'm into it. Anyway, we were talking about delicious sweet treats.
Moon pies aren't even
no,
good.
they are not good.
Like if you're gonna.
Do you remember when we went to Missouri, right?
Yeah.
You heard the moon pie story, right?
No.
Remember when Chad and Jeff and I took Nora to the grocery store? Like one of the nights we needed to go to the grocery store.
When we were in the Ozone.
And I don't remember why. We were getting ice cream is what it was.
Oh.
And so Nora couldn't make up her mind, so we just took her with us. And we were walking through the store and we saw moon pies. And Nora's like, "What's a moon pie? I've never heard of a moon pie." And so we made her eat a moon pie in the grocery store. And she's like, "I don't like it."
They're not very good. They sound.
How have you never given your child a moon pie before?
They're not something that people eat around here.
Unless you're at a gas station and you're on a road trip and you stop somewhere and you're like, "Oh, moon pie! I haven't seen one of those in so long. I'm gonna try one." You forget how gross they are, and then you only eat one once every 10 years or so. And then you're like, "Oh yeah, I remember why I don't eat these."
For those who are international listeners and don't get moon pies, they're like a really poorly cooked cookie sandwich.
It's like
with marshmallow in between.
Yeah.
And then they dip it in frosting that has no flavor and let it harden.
Yeah, it's not like good frosting.
Weird.
It's not like a
really
good cookie.
Strange consistency.
It's not even like a good marshmallow cream.
It's like
it has all these things that could be so good,
but they're the blandest variety you could imagine of
it's like a stale graham cracker.
Yeah,
it's like a stale graham cracker cookie with this really cakey, dry, floury frosting that has no.
But somehow
flavor.
They've been around for like 70 years.
And there's a parade
for them. And there's a parade for them.
And they
Tennessee.
sell tons of RC Cola swag. Can you imagine me in an RC Cola trucker hat?
I can't
Or an
imagine
RC
that.
Cola flat bill hat? Yeah. That's for you, Coxtimus. I'd wear that. I'm into it. Anyway, Bell Buckle, Tennessee, look out. Here we come. Hey, maybe we should just make it a Star Wars, entire Nerds Unite.
I am not going. It's too hot.
I'm going. And Mark might be going.
There's going to be a lot of bears out around that time. They're going to be aggressive. It's hot
committed.
out. They're going to be mad.
It's going to happen.
Why do you... I don't believe for one second that Mark is going to travel to Tennessee.
He's already said if there was anything on Earth that could get him to take a road trip,
I don't believe
he's going to do it. All right. He hasn't committed 100%.
Oh, that's shocking. You told me earlier that he was going.
I did. I'm kind of assuming that he's going to. I told him he had to give me a commitment by the next time we recorded.
That's crazy. It's a year away.
I don't care. I want him to commit to it and plan for it because he's a planner. He has to save money.
What if he's going to have a kid on that day?
He's not going to have a kid.
How do you know?
I don't. But if he... Oh, man, that would make me so mad. That would...
That's exactly 9 months from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that would be so awesome.
No.
If his child was born on RC Cola and Moon Pie Day.
It would be fate.
He could just name him RC Moon Pie. Bolton person.
That is a good idea. I'll just go with Kent then. Fine. Forget you guys.
Have fun.
Well, Kent's not going to drink RC Cola or eat a single Moon Pie, so good luck and have fun.
He can drink RC Cola.
He won't.
He won't.
Yeah. Why would
But
he?
he said he would go. So there. It'll just be me and Kent on the
Kent
open road.
Kent is super healthy and vegan.
Kent is the other co-host on Comic Nerds Unite. This was Sweets Talk on Star Wars Nerds Unite. I'm going to go do another letter here. This one is from Rob Findyson. He says, Science Corner. Is there a way with our current understanding of physics that repulsors like those used in various speeders could work? I was thinking magnetic fields, but would that work off a track and on various types of terrain?
All right, so his question, anything is possible with the right amount of energy.
And money.
Well, money's irrelevant when you're talking about something like this.
Okay.
We don't have energy densities necessary to do such things. He's talking about like a repulsor where you can just hover in midair.
Yeah.
With tons of mass and overcome gravity.
Right.
Yeah. So we do that today with like Harrier jets and things like that can hover.
Yeah, but they're just blowing air.
Right. So you could do it. The whole electromagnetic thing wouldn't work because the Earth, while the entire Earth is magnetic, like it's aligned in a weird way to where you have to be way off the Earth to be able to like repel a pole. So that doesn't really work unless you were to put something on, like if you covered the entire ground with a magnet or some...
Right, and then you're able to repel. But could you even control it if you could do that? Or wouldn't it bounce around?
No. You could line everything up so it makes a field in the right direction.
So you would have to be on a track if it was with magnets.
Or the entire ground would have to be covered in magnet material.
Right. That's what I mean. Like a track.
Or just everything. Just spray the ground with magnetic material.
Okay. So maybe that's what we do. We have a spray paint magnet spray.
The other way you could do it is like, sounds counterintuitive, but you could make something that has a bigger gravitational field that's above you and constantly move it.
Have something suck you up away from the Earth?
Yeah.
How hard would that be?
It's next to impossible.
Wouldn't it crush the Earth?
It would crush you before it would crush the Earth, but yeah.
Okay. Fabulous.
Yeah.
So, no, is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay. In your esteemed opinion, what technology from Star Wars that we do not currently have is closest or most likely to be developed?
Intergalactic communications.
Really?
Yeah.
Like with quantum stuff?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's going to happen.
How?
Quantum pairs. They work.
What is that?
Quantum pair is, you can look at the state of an electron, and in a quantum pair, that electron will be in the same state in these two molecules, no matter where they are in the universe.
So how do you get them to the other part of the universe?
You just get it there. That part's not difficult. You can send satellites. You know, we've got Voyager outside the solar system.
Are we using quantum pairs to discuss with Voyager?
We're using radio. That's why it takes like a day for the signal to get back.
It only takes a day?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not very far away.
I thought it was out of the solar system.
It is, but that's still, in the grand scheme of things, not that far away.
Huh.
We're talking about the speed of light here.
Okay.
So, a quantum pair, you could have instantaneous communication across any distance. And it's been demonstrated already in a very, very good way. Recently, they had one that was like over 8 kilometers apart.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the one I think is most likely to happen.
So does it have data limits, or they can just send little packets of information?
As quickly as you can change the state of that electron, which is very quick.
So are you saying that fiber is pointless because we're just going to be able to send it over?
Yeah. Once we master quantum, we don't need channels anymore.
Quantum's so weird.
Yeah.
So weird. What do you think is going to be the next Star Wars technology, Jennifer?
Probably lightsabers.
Yeah, I'm going lightsabers too.
No.
People are super stoked about lightsabers and making
But
them.
they defy physics.
But they figured out how to make like a figure eight with plasma.
They defy physics.
Yeah.
All right.
I was kidding about that.
Intergalactic communication does not defy physics.
As we know it. What if they invent the quantum equivalent of lightsabers?
Okay. They discover it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's there, out to be discovered.
Okay. I wish Rob would have told us what he thought was going to be the closest.
Yeah.
General question. What tech from Star Wars would you most like to have? Lightsabers, blasters, FTL hyperdrives, holographic communications, etc. I want that little device that counts midichlorians.
That's, the lamest technology
What would you
possible.
do with that information since those things don't even exist?
I'd figure out who's a Jedi. I would conclusively determine whether I was a... I actually thought about that a lot.
You would just rule out the fact that you're not a Jedi and then... Okay, now I know. All right.
Now I'm certain. I used to think about having an X-Wing and like flying it around when I was younger.
Yeah.
I always thought that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
What were the options that he
Like,
had?
Well, you can...
Anything you want, but he gave examples.
What were his examples?
Holographic communication, hyperspace. I don't remember the other ones already.
Or maybe cybernetic implants like Loba, except for ones that don't take over my brain.
I think the hyperspace travel would be pretty cool.
Where'd you go?
Anywhere fast.
Somewhere really fast.
If this is Star Trek, it'd be a lot easier. It'd be teleportation.
I would love that.
That'd be
Beam
that
me
in a
somewhere.
heartbeat.
Beam me out of here.
Yeah.
Scotty.
You're like, get me out of here every day.
I would want they have all these weird power sources in Star Wars that seem to have.
You want a gonk droid?
You want
infinite energy.
an ore planet?
No, I just want whatever technology they have to store and generate power. Because then I could get all the money in the world and do whatever
You
I
sound
want.
like a greedy villain.
Oh, that's true.
Because I'd have all the power.
Would you build that neighborhood we talked about?
Yeah.
Where all of us
But it would be like
live together?
It would be like an island.
That'd be odd. Wouldn't it be too hot on the island?
No,
It'd
there's
be a
plenty of islands in the Pacific.
Mediterranean jungle.
No, it would be a deciduous / evergreen
Ugh.
environment. Like
It'd be
Vancouver
like
Island isn't
Missouri.
too hot. You'd go to Vancouver Island.
Yeah. It'd be great.
I just buy Vancouver.
Here we go. What are your thoughts on the BenView? What is he talking
Is
about?
this still Rob?
How did he spell
Yeah,
it?
it's Rob. BenDu.
I don't know the context.
I don't either. I'm going to look it up. Guess I should have
I
looked
thought
it
when
up
I read it
before.
the first time it made sense, but now it doesn't make any sense at all.
BenView. BenView was a collection of non-confrontational beliefs practiced by the BenView monks. The symbol of BenView was a circle connected by 8 even spokes, which represented the unification of the galaxy by the Force. Due to their study of numerology, the number 8 created by this symbol had great meaning.
This sounds like Legends lore.
Even though the symbol of the BenView was eventually used by the Galactic Republic, they at first used their own symbol. Curiously, the later formed Sith Empire used a 6th spoke symbol. Oh boy, that has to be Legends. Right?
Yeah, you would think.
The name BenView may come from George Lucas's original name for the Jedi Knights, the Jedi BenView.
It's too far down the rabbit hole for me, Rob.
Yeah, it might be for me too. I mean, it essentially looks like the Galactic Republic symbol and sort of the Imperial symbol. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Rob, what do you think about the Bendu? That's what I want to know. Tell me what I'm supposed to think.
It's kind of a very open question. That's a bad press conference question.
What is the worst, most ridiculous fan theory you've heard?
The most ridiculous fan theory that I've heard.
It's hard to think about that because you have to think about all of the theories from all of the time that we've had the theories. And I can't even remember all of them.
I think the worst I heard was the one about Leia being in charge of the First Order and her and Lando being together. Wasn't that your theory, Josh?
Yeah, I forgot about that theory. And yes, that is actually my theory. Thank you very much. That was terrible.
He didn't restrict it to just Star Wars, right?
No, he didn't. He said, what is the worst, most ridiculous fan theory you've heard? Maybe
the worst one. No, this is a Game of Thrones one.
Oh, God, what?
There is a fan theory that is peddled in the deep, dark recesses of the internet where Tyrion is a time-traveling fetus who is really Khal Drogo and Daenerys' unborn child. And when she had
gross.
When she had the blood ritual, the fetus went back in time and was impregnated into Tywin Lannister's wife.
That's a theory.
That's a theory.
Sounds like something.
And there's all kinds of
in a basement.
There's all kinds of references from the books. It's crazy.
Like what? Name one reference.
I'd have to go look at them. Like if you've read Game of Thrones, you guys have at least listened to a couple.
We're on the last one.
It's super. Like he describes how many fronds are on a specific plant while a guy's taking a dump. Like there's references in Game of Thrones that you forget because it's so dense of a book.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Is there a fan theory that you kind of wish was true? Mine is the Darth Jar Jar theory.
He's been on the Darth Jar Jar theory for a while.
I kind of like that theory too.
I don't.
What is it?
It's the theory that Jar Jar was ultimately the Sith Lord this whole time.
Right. Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, and that's why he can do all of his crazy high jumping and why he always seems to be in the right place at the right time and
super lucky.
Yeah, he was the one that voted to put Chancellor Palpatine in and or really he was the one that voted to get rid of Chancellor Valorum.
Right.
There's been a lot of things that would indicate that could actually be the case. I entertain that theory. It makes me happy.
The idea is he just plays it off like he's this big goof, so nobody thinks he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mine's simpler. I kind of wish Rey was Luke's daughter.
No.
I just want something real simple like that.
It's a horrible... There's way too many holes.
There doesn't have to be a hole there. There's only a hole in your heart.
No, there's things
where
don't make any sense.
Is there a theory that Han is not dead?
Yes.
Yes. Ooh, maybe that's what I wish.
Yeah, that's probably a good one.
I think people should die.
What if he comes back like Darth Maul?
Isn't there a theory that
somebody grows fake Force legs onto it?
Maybe he'll be just transported into somebody's womb and be born again as a midget.
A space fetus. Time and space.
There it is, the little person.
Isn't there a theory that Ben didn't kill Han, that Han did it to himself?
Yes.
Yes.
I like that theory.
Yeah. That theory is my favorite.
I probably like that one the best. If he's going to be dead, I'd rather that be what happened.
How will we ever know?
We'll know in episode 8.
Well, if Ben turns out to be a good guy, you'll know.
And then he specifically talks about it.
Okay.
I didn't kill him.
Do you think the old guy with a white beard in Return of the Jedi is Captain Rex?
No.
I'm with
He's
Mason.
not. No,
We
he's
know
not.
He is.
He's not. It's General Dodonna, isn't it?
No, he's talking. Oh, he is talking about a rebel guy. I thought he was talking about the white beard on the Death Star.
If so, how would that work out with the accelerated aging of clones? It wouldn't. Right. Rex is dead. By the time Return of the Jedi is there, he's got to be, right?
He's already like in his 60s in Rebels.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Which old game...
Unless... I'm just kidding.
Which old games would you like to see redone and released with current technology? X-Wing Rogue Squadron. There's no...
I don't know. How would new technology improve it, though?
Probably make it way harder. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I know what I want. You remember... I can't remember. Star Wars Republic? I think that's what it was called. It was like this weird game where you controlled sort of heroes, and you...
It's called Rebellion.
Was it?
Yeah. I have it on my computer right now.
And you would go to different planets and take them over and get their resources, and you had to like balance out your troops and attack.
Doesn't Nolan play that now?
No.
What's
no,
the
this
one
is
he
like
plays?
old game. It's like 1990.
Yeah.
Oh.
90 what? 6?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe even before that.
Yeah, that's... I think X-Wing versus TIE Fighter in VR would be...
I think they should bring back those Jawa toys.
Or just a modern Knights of the Old Republic. Make a game that's as good as Knights of the Old Republic again.
Okay, thank you for the great show, he says. VOD.
Who was that? That was
Rob. That was like a 45-minute email.
Okay.
Thank you, Rob. If you're going to send these questions in, I want more of your theories. That's what I want. We have one more letter, but I'm going to save it for episode number 87. It's from new listener Ben.
Let's just read it now.
No.
I'm not going to record again tonight.
Then read it.
It's a long letter.
Just read it.
You're really not going to record?
It's too late. Sorry.
We can do a real short episode. She's done.
No.
She's finished.
No.
Checked out. Other than this email.
We're going to have to podcast Sunday morning because Rebels is coming out.
It comes out
we have
Saturday
to watch
or
it.
Friday, right?
You have to watch it.
Ooh.
And then
we'll
record.
Get high downloads on that one.
Ooh.
Look at these weirdos with 89 episodes. I'm going to listen to them talk about Rebels season 3 episode.
That'll be episode 87 apparently because we're not doing Darth Vader.
We can do Darth Vader before that.
No, because we would release the Rebels. Be real. Yeah, we need to release the Rebels episode immediately.
Either way, we wouldn't be doing this one then.
We need to go back in time and make Rebels come out yesterday.
So that we could record today.
Yeah. It all makes sense.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Science Corner.
All right, I'll read this letter. This is from Ben. He says, Tim, Jen, and Josh. My name is Ben from the Gold Coast, Australia. We have a few listeners from Australia.
And we have so many Bens. Have you noticed how many Bens we have?
No.
We had 2 Bens in the same weekend.
Oh, she is right. Same, yeah. This
Lots
is the
of
third
Bens.
Ben. I'm working on my Star Wars nerd name, but for now, it's just plain old Ben. I came across your podcast on Spotify about 2 months ago and haven't stopped listening since. I think I've listened to every episode twice and some 3 to 4 times.
I want to know how many times he's listened to the Ewok one.
I don't even think I could listen to that one time.
You haven't listened to our podcast one time anyway.
I could if I wanted to, except for that episode.
Okay. All right. I can't believe
I lived it,
I cannot believe he's listened to the episodes that many times. How are we that entertaining, especially the early ones? We should send Ben the first draft of episode 1 and have him tell us what he thinks.
It's still on the internet somewhere.
We don't need to do that. He might stop.
It was pretty bad.
No, it wasn't.
It was terrible. He says, I love it. You have all deepened my appreciation and understanding of Star Wars to the point that I am now obsessed. So congratulations for that. Gosh, thanks. I'm glad you're obsessed.
Don't pin that on me.
My knowledge of the finer details of Star Wars is still expanding, so I don't have any profound plot ponderings or theories.
Good. Just kidding.
Gosh.
I'm just joking.
I mostly just want you all to know how much I have enjoyed listening to you discuss my new favorite topic, and that And that with much encouragement, my wife has successfully finished watching all 7 movies and loved it. Yahoo! That's
Awesome.
one better than I've done with my wife.
What are you talking about?
You haven't watched all 7 movies?
I have watched them all before I met you.
You can't.
You can't even begin to tell me even what happens in Empire Strikes Back.
Do you want me to tell you what happened?
Yes. Do you want me to spoil it for you? Okay, I do have one idea I wanted to share with you regarding The Force Awakens. I agree completely with the internets that Rey is Luke's daughter. However, I would like to add to that theory. Thank you. He's a man true to my heart. He says...
He referenced the internets, not you.
He was talking about me. I'm on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Including my hidden episode 1.
Yeah.
He says, I believe Luke was training Kylo, and at a young age, about 8 to 13 years old, Kylo ran away from home/Luke after some sort of bad event. At this point, Han agreed to hide Rey somewhere. Luke/Kylo couldn't find her. Meanwhile, on Jakku, Han is tricked out or bargained to relinquish ownership of the Falcon for protection of Rey, which Han has always considered as stolen, but knows that it was a necessary trade. This is why Han picks up the Falcon so quickly, because he is always watching it. This also adds to the reason Rey has a connection to and good understanding of the Falcon, because she spent time traveling with Han. Whew. Luke takes his apprentice to find Kylo and bring him home. Shortly after Kylo had killed the knights, Luke tracks him down. Kylo manages to kill Luke's apprentice, and Luke can't bring himself to kill Kylo and retreats defeated. Knowing Rey is safe, Luke moves into exile.
But he doesn't know she's safe. He just knows that he doesn't know where she is.
So, is that the end of the theory?
Yeah.
So, one thing he said about Ben maybe running away when some strange event happens or tragic event. I think that with, what's the one about Leia? The book.
Bloodline?
Bloodline. Well, in Bloodline, when everybody finds out about Darth Vader being Leia's father, that could have been an event that made him lose it.
Correct.
But he wasn't that young when that happened. He would have been older.
Yes, he was.
What are you talking about?
Oh, no, that was the one where she didn't know where he was. Yeah, I mixed it up with Life Debt.
She knew where he was, she just couldn't.
Yeah, I think he's already a teenager.
Yeah, he's a teenager, but...
So that actually would kind of make sense why he would get so mad.
Mm-hmm. Well, he could have just been,
but
like,
he
lost
worships
himself.
Vader. Maybe he went...
Well,
when he first hears about it, I'm sure it was very...
It could have been one of those things where he just goes off because he's so upset he doesn't know what to think about his family. And then there's the bad guy just waiting in the wings for him to be vulnerable, and then starts drawing him in and sucking him into the dark side.
Well, Josh didn't immediately just tell you how stupid you were, Ben, so maybe you're on to something.
No, I did.
I think that part... I think something did happen with Ben at a young age. I don't think... Well, at least in the movie, when Han got the Falcon back, he seemed to think somebody else had taken it. He was like, where'd you get this? Da-da-da-da-da. And he listed like 2 or 3 places.
Right.
So
and
he acted like he didn't know. So...
I said... Here, I'll just read verbatim what I said, because I said it eloquently the first time.
Yes.
You know I'm 100% against your theory, but I do appreciate the unique idea you present. Your chunk is very plausible and doesn't feel cheap. However, there are 2 giant elephants in the room. Why, how did Rey's memory... I put a lot of questions in one sentence. Why, how Rey's memory is wiped, augmented, changed, etc., and how Kylo doesn't recognize Rey at all. So you can't reconcile those things, like...
Couldn't somebody have done a Jedi mind trick on her?
Well, there's only one Jedi. And why would Luke have done that?
We only know
to protect her,
and
to hide her.
Kylo, the Ren, the Knights of Ren. Could have been anybody.
The Knights of Ren are just his own little personal guard.
So...
Who?
Kylo's.
Luke could have wiped her and Ben's memories, knowing something horrible was coming.
It doesn't make any sense.
To keep them safe, so maybe they wouldn't
But it
come
wouldn't keep 'em
looking, so they wouldn't fight, so they would forget their training and not reveal themselves.
No.
I really don't know why Star Wars people think that it's safer to put young children in the hands of
Strange,
like
Yeah.
mobsters.
yeah. It's not. It's not a good idea.
or even like the way they drop Luke off. That was dumb too.
They gave him to his uncle.
That's the planet he
That's
grew up on.
On a desert planet with no money.
That's where his
Right.
mother
and let
was
him
from.
keep his last name. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
No, I'm not. That's DCFS. Obi-Wan Kenobi is the DCFS of the galaxy.
That's super dumb.
It's not.
It's super dumb.
It's not.
It really is.
It isn't.
That's way dumber than any of these theories that you think are dumb.
Wiping somebody's memory is super dumb. Giving a child to their uncle is not super dumb.
The kids could have seen something horrible. He could have been trying to protect them from that tragedy and the trauma. And I don't know, he could have,
Mind wiping is stupid.
I do buy parts of his theory. I mean,
It's not they're plausible.
yeah, like
If you get beyond the mind wiping thing, what he describes is thought out and plausible.
especially Han, the way he loses the Falcon, because you can't really believe how is Han really going to lose the Falcon? You think he would just give up at a point?
He
I
never
don't.
gave up. He says he's been looking for it for years. And how
I
they've
told you
looked
it was
all
on
over the
Jakku.
galaxy, combed the galaxy. No, he said, I told you we should have checked the western reaches again. But again, he could just be a ruse at that point.
Yeah, but why is he bruising Chewie?
Right. It just doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that part is
It's
what happened.
fandom striving for there to be something more than she's just Rey. And she doesn't need to be something more than
She's
just
more
Rey.
than just Rey.
I don't
No.
think she's Luke's daughter, but I think she probably is something to someone.
She's Kenobi's daughter,
No.
granddaughter.
But then he also said that he has a surprise to share with us at the end of November.
Yeah, I wasn't done reading the email. He says, anyway, that's my thoughts. Sorry if it's a bit rough. I typed this on my phone. Don't worry, I covered you for almost all of it. He says, thanks again, guys. Signing off, plain old Ben Kenobi. P.S. I will have something awesome to share with you at the end of November. So excited. I have a fan theory about what he has to share with us.
What is it?
He
is
one
Rey.
of the, he's one of the Knights of Ren.
My fan theory is he's making a Kylo Ren cosplay, and he's going to send us pictures.
Or maybe he is going to name all of the rogues, give the rogues the numbers
Call
so that
signs
I don't
and-
have to.
Maybe.
That would be nice.
I think he's having a baby.
And he's going to name him Tim Jim Mace. Tim Jen Mace.
He's going to ask that his baby be inducted into Nerd Squadron.
He then responded to my response, asking what books we might be reviewing next, so that
I
he
didn't
could read
get
ahead.
that. I didn't get that one.
I didn't either. He must
I think
have
he
just
only responded to me.
Well, the next episode is going to be Rebels, I guess.
Well, no, he's saying, I want to be able to read the book
what
before
book?
you do.
Not a comic.
So
what book?
books are you thinking about doing next so that I can read it?
We're going to do Dark Disciple?
I said Weapon of the Jedi because I actually
that
have
was an
that
old
one.
one. We should do that one. You
But
might not hate that.
The thing is the new Rogue One book comes out like soon. I already pre-ordered it.
Is it just the movie adaptation or it's the
No,
prequel
it's
book?
like the prequel book. I can never figure out how to work Audible, like the app. It's not very.
It's because they don't let you buy anything from inside the app.
No, you can.
Oh, not on Apple. Go figure. Rogue One, Secret Mission, Target? No. I just want to know what the next Star Wars books are.
There's the Ahsoka book, the Tarkin book. And
There's another Tarkin book?
There's the one Tarkin book.
We already talked about it.
I'm sorry, Thrawn.
Oh, Thrawn.
I saw a picture of Thrawn and I called him Tarkin.
List of future books. Fall 2016. Star Wars on the Front Lines. Star Wars Complete Location. Star Wars Poe Dameron Flight Log.
Isn't Dark Disciple really short?
It's pretty short, yeah. The Amazing Book of Star Wars. Luke and the Lost Jedi Temple. That's a storybook. Young adult novel is Ahsoka.
Catalyst is what it's called. By James Luceno.
That's the Ahsoka one?
No, that's the Rogue One. It comes out November 15th, so that's out a ways.
So, might that be our next one?
No.
Do you think we'll do another novel before that?
I mean, we could, if it's one of the quicker ones. Like Weapon of a Jedi.
Dark Disciple.
Dark Disciple will be easy. It's really short. I've got it on Audible book. I can send you a copy of it.
Send me a copy of it.
Like there's something Audible has where you can share a book, like one time or something.
Send it to me.
I will.
So we'll do Dark Disciple next.
As far as books go.
Right. That's what his question was.
Right. So, but I can't tell you how many episodes from now that will be.
But then I will be reading Catalyst as quickly as possible.
As will I. Yeah, we should do a podcast like as quick as humanly possible after that one. We'll see.
And then Thrawn comes out next year. So I don't know that there's any more like major novels the rest of the year.
Yeah, that Ahsoka one is tempting. It being a young adult novel turns me off slightly, although we did do Before the Awakening.
A lot of them have been young adult novels.
Just one.
Just the one.
Lost Stars.
That's it.
That wasn't young adult.
Lost Stars it was.
Well, Before the Awakening was.
Yeah.
That was a young adult novel.
So,
we've done two.
Don't you think the Leia one was?
No.
Really?
Oh. No.
Bloodline?
No. That one had a lot of sexual tension between.
Oh my God. What do you think young adult books are?
So yeah, Ahsoka comes out October 11th. So we'll do Ahsoka before we do Catalyst, probably. At least I'll read it.
Yeah, I'll read it. Jenny, you're on board, right?
Totally.
All right, that's it for tonight. Letters at starwarsnerdsunite.com if you want to email in and be read on the air. We are at starwarsnerdsunite.com and use our Amazon link if you're going to buy anything from Amazon because it helps us pay for hosting. And if you're going to listen to the podcast 3 or 4 times, you should use our Amazon link. That's all I'm saying. And if you're going to name your baby after us, you should definitely use our Amazon link. What else?
To buy diapers?
Yeah. We are on Stitcher and iTunes and Podcast Addict and
everywhere. Everywhere you can find podcasts.
Spotify.
Google Play Music.
Anywhere you can think to rate us, do that. And we appreciate that very much.
Send a letter to your local newspaper.
Oh, yeah. Tell them how great we are. At Star Wars NU is our Twitter handle. You can talk to us there. Facebook. Jenny is dying over there. She's ready to end this podcast.
I'm trying to stretch my neck.
Look like you were dying. Or maybe you were just thinking about that RC Cola Moon Pie Festival.
Update of the Bear Island Bears.
Oh, Bear Island Bears are 2-2. That's our rec league soccer team. Me and Jen and Mason are stars on that team. Mason missed the last game, unfortunately, with a hamstring injury.
Yep.
And I turned the ball over.
He pulled a hammy.
But we won 4-1.
We did.
You turned
Jenny
the ball over.
Wicked defense. Yeah, I had a couple chances where I should have been able to do something, but because I've never played soccer before, my feet don't do what my brain says.
But what do you mean by you turned the ball over?
I gave the ball to the other team.
Okay, you made it sound...
And then they have it after he fuddles around with it.
I thought you were saying that
smart with the ball and getting a shot or something.
Okay.
Passing it to a teammate.
Well, I did do some of those successfully. I dribbled, but then I would lose it because I would do a bunch of dribbles and then I'd do one dribble.
You never kept it very long if you got the ball.
That kicked it up too far. Too far.
You would kick it out of bounds.
I never kicked it out of bounds. The only time I kicked it out of bounds was defensive. I did that on purpose.
Oh.
So when you're dribbling, you need to more drag it up the field and kick it.
I know. I know, and I've been practiced today.
So we have another game on Sunday.
We do. We'll give you another update.
Pretty good.
We won't give you an update on the next episode, but the one after that, we'll tell you about the 3-2 Bear Island Bears.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Woo!
All right, everybody. Thanks for the podcast and thanks for the feedback.
Yes, thank everyone for us making a podcast.
Thanks for listening.
Well, I'm thanking them for the feedback.
Well, you said thanks for the
listening.
podcast. You said, hey, everyone, thanks for the podcast. And thanks.
I was thanking you two for doing the podcast.
Oh.
Good Lord.
You don't need to thank me.
It just comes naturally. All right. May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.
Did you hear that? We're doomed.
This podcast is a part of the BenView network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at benviewnetwork.com.